Greetings, friends. I'm AK.
And I'm Laura.
And we are
The Chainsaw Girls. On today's episode, this was a first watch for me.
It was an AK recommendation.
It was, and I actually really did love it.
I'm so glad.
We are covering, I don't know why I said actually. You always give me good recommendations. Okay. We are covering 2002/2003, depending on where you look, May.
I understand why you said that as well, because with certain themes or certain, I don't know, I don't want to say weird quote unquote movies, but there are certain themes where I'm like, is Laura going to like this? I don't know. I feel like she will maybe.
Well, you know, I don't like that drawn out, dark dread.
Right.
What do they call it? Elevated horror is not my favorite.
And I don't think this was elevated horror.
No.
But it is a little weird.
Oh, it surely is. Yeah. Would you like me to read the IMDb description?
Please do.
A socially awkward veterinarian assistant with a lazy eye and obsession with perfection descends into depravity after developing a crush on a boy with perfect hands.
That is exactly what happens. IMDb does it again.
Really nailed that one. This had a budget of $1.7 million and it grossed $634,803.
Oh. Wait, say that again. The number that it grossed?
634,803.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. It was directed and written by Lucky McKee. And he actually did, there's a movie called Tales of Halloween. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
It's a fun little anthology. I really enjoy it. He did a little short in it called Ding Dong. He also did a short in Masters of Horror called Sick Girls. And actually, some of the people in this movie have been in Tales of Halloween and Masters of Horror, which I thought was kind of neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. At the time of this recording, I was able to find May on Tubi.
Yes, that's where I watched it as well.
We love Tubi.
Love it. It's free. We love free.
I'm very excited to hear about any little tidbits you have about this one. I do know that Adam is the same actor that was in Clueless. I think he's Elton in Clueless.
Yes, which I'm like, how do I know this guy? And why do I automatically assume he's a fucking creep?
Which is so funny because when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's Elton. Like, I was excited about it. But then I was like, wait, he is a creep in Clueless too.
Yeah, he gave me the ick immediately. As soon as he came on screen, I was like, oh boy.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, but we'll get into that for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we go along, I'll give you some little like tidbits about the movie.
About May.
Sweet.
So should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we start off by seeing a woman who is holding her eye like this, if you're watching on YouTube, screaming. Her eye is bleeding. We don't know what's happening yet. That's all we see. And then we start to get the opening credits.
And the opening credits are really neat.
Yeah, you see a lot of doll parts falling.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of seeing like May's childhood.
Yes. And like there's like stitching and the sound of a sewing machine.
Right. Yeah, she's a DIY girly. I will tell you that much.
Yes, we love a DIY queen.
Imagine that was the IMDb description. A DIY girly, because she is.
Cuts her own eye out.
We see a little girl who has a quote unquote lazy eye. Her mom is putting a patch on her, basically saying, if you want to make friends, you got to keep it on.
Way to give her a complex.
Immediately.
She didn't stand a chance, this poor girl, man.
We only see her mother for like maybe a minute total, and she's the worst.
Oh, absolutely terrible. Yeah. And as soon as May goes to school, a little boy runs up to her and he's like, "Hey, are you a pirate?"
I know, and I feel so bad. He looked so genuine when he said it.
Okay, when you said that, like, because when I watched it, I was like, "This little shit."
I know.
I hate kids. No, and then your perspective was like, "Oh, but it was so genuine," and I was like, "Okay, it's clearly there's something wrong with me."
No, but it is such a shitty thing to say. And as we grow older, hopefully we learn social etiquette. But
Right.
He's a child, so he doesn't have that yet. So
Yeah.
he's just like, "Are you a pirate?" Like, it's rude, but he doesn't know that yet. But whatever. I'm also putting my own, I guess, projection onto it when this is a character that doesn't exist in real life.
No, and honestly, like little kids, it was innocent, right? Like, yeah, she's got a freaking patch on her eye. I get it.
But of course she's sad about it. And then we cut to, more doll parts, more sewing, and now it's her birthday. Her mom is annoyed at how she opened her birthday gift.
I know, it's so awful.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, you ruined it."
Yeah,
like you're just ripping open that's what presents are for. You rip the wrapping paper off.
Right, and because she ripped it, I guess because she didn't like carefully peel the tape.
Could you imagine if that was your mother?
No.
I mean, the complex, poor May, seriously, like at that young age, just absorbing all of that judgment.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I definitely think they're trying to tell us that plays into who she becomes.
Oh, absolutely. And so she opens up this gift and okay, as soon as she ripped the wrapping off, I was like, oh God, AK is gonna fucking hate this doll. It's this almost porcelain doll looking dolly. Her name is Susie, and the way that it's spelled, I don't know why it sent me into like a rage.
It's
spelled
so funny.
Soozzy.
I always forget that you say Z too in Canada. I'm like, wait, what? Oh yeah.
But it was pissing me off because in my notes, I'm writing it down and my autocorrect kept going like, wait, that's not a word. And it kept trying to change it. Anyway, so that was annoying. But the mother is like I've always said, if you can't find a friend, make one.
So I'm assuming her mom made her that. It's very creepy. I did hate it immediately.
It definitely looked homemade.
It's so funny. I didn't have the closed captioning on the first time I watched it back. And so I didn't know Susie was spelled that way until you told me.
I was so mad. I was like, why are you spelling it Susie?
Yeah.
Okay, also, I apologize if that is how you spell your name. It's great.
Imagine.
Keep spelling it like that.
You know what? You do you, but because this is a fictional doll, we're shitting on it.
If someone said they didn't like the way that I spelled Laura, like, I'd be okay with that.
Sure.
You know?
You're like, okay, do you.
To each their own. Laura.
I imagine it's someone who's like Lara.
Or Lora. Laura?
Have you ever met someone that spells it that way?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, do you? I also think it's funny that people get mad about how other people spell their name when it's like most people didn't choose their name. Their parents did.
But I'm getting mad about how they spell Susie.
But no, that was the mom's choice. You're getting mad at the mom because she's a piece of
true.
shit.
That's true. The mother sucks. All right.
So then we cut to May is now an adult. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're into the actual movie. Credits are off. She's sewing and she's talking to Susie.
Her only friend.
Still her friend to this day. And she's sewing and she's telling him, I saw a boy today. And she's just kind of telling Susie this story. And we're kind of seeing cut scenes of her seeing this boy and different things that she's doing around town.
But I love how the way she describes it. She's like, when you you meet someone and you think that you like them, but then you find out oh, this person actually fucking sucks. I was like, yeah, girl, I do know.
Actually, I relate to you, May. Only this part though. Only this part.
But I thought that was very relatable, even though her definition of meeting someone is really just staring at them and having a very weird interaction with them. Maybe not weird, just socially awkward.
A very parasocial relationship with this person that she actually never spoke to before.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And she immediately starts talking about parts. You notice parts about them that you don't really like. Some people you don't like any part of them.
Which when she first started saying that, I was like, yeah, okay, there are definitely parts of people that I don't like, but she means literally.
Physically
there are parts. Oh boy.
Yeah. We'll find that out soon. But knowing that when you watch it back again, you're like, oh, right away, she's talking about different parts of different people.
Yeah. Oh God.
So then we see her sitting on a bench when she's telling Susie this story. Some guy's looking at her and she looks his way. She's kind of smiling at him. She takes off her glasses, which she has glasses that are pulling her lazy eye forward. So when she takes them off, it goes back to, I guess, being a quote unquote lazy eye. And she looks at him that way and he sees it and leaves. So she's upset, which is really sad.
It's really sad, yeah.
But she tells Susie she found a guy that she does like.
She likes every part of him, especially his hands.
Especially, they're so beautiful.
I don't think I've ever seen someone's hands and been like, oh God, you got some nice hands.
I agree, but I have noticed before, oh, that person has nice hands, but not, it's someone that I'm dating, for example, oh, you have good hands. Maybe that sounds weird. Hold on, let me rephrase that. I like when someone has clean hands on good nail beds.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
They don't have some nasty shit under their nails.
Yeah, where I'm like, oh, you have nice hands. I think especially also when it's a man, because typically you think of a man's hands being a little more rugged.
Right.
A little more, I don't want to say dirty, but especially in this case, he is a mechanic. So his hands are dirty a lot.
Yeah.
So when they have nice nails, I'm like, oh.
Oh my God. Have you ever dated a guy and then they have long nails?
Long nails? No.
Not long.
But just too long for your liking.
It honestly makes my whole stomach turn.
Really?
I'm oh, I cannot stand that. But what I was going to tell you is I take back what I said because I do notice girls' hands, and I really like, I love girls' hands when they have like their nails done. I always look at girls' nails, and I
Yeah.
really just like, oh, yes, girl.
So-
those nails look good.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of how May's looking at his hands.
I guess so,
She's
yeah.
obsessed with them for whatever reason. She doesn't really say why. She just says they're beautiful to her.
Well, it's probably all that, you know, judgment that her mother placed inside her head when she was young, right? So she's looking at everything very superficially.
Yeah, definitely. And we see this guy. We don't see his face yet. It is Adam, who, do you have the actor's name handy by chance?
I can surely pull it up. Yes.
So
his name is Jeremy Sisto.
Yes. So we see him. We don't see his face yet, but he's, you know, from behind rubbing on this car. It looks like he's feeling up this dent on this car.
Yeah.
It's her observation of him. This is her noticing his hands and telling Susie this story.
Ooh, his hands.
And she goes, don't be mad to Susie. So she's implying that Susie's going to be jealous, you know, that she has another person that she's interested in.
Right.
She's like, I need a real friend, someone I can hold. Which, I mean, you could hold Susie technically if you would take her out of that fucking box.
I don't hold friends, but I hold space for them.
There you go. You do hold them in a different way. Yeah. So now we go to the eye doctor where she's asking him, will my contacts be ready by Friday? I have a date.
Does she have a date?
Spoiler alert. She doesn't actually have a date. She just has a parasocial relationship with someone.
Did you just hear my stomach growl?
No.
I hope the mic didn't catch that.
Well, let us know if you heard her stomach growl.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Sorry.
Now I'm going to listen back for it. So the doctor's like, yeah, your contacts are going to pull your lazy eye forward just like your glasses do. No one will ever know. No one's going to notice. Type of
Right,
thing.
right. And he dilates her pupils.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that?
No, but it looks terrifying.
Dude, every time I go for my annual, I have to get my pupils dilated
Why do they do that?
because they can get a better look at your actual like eyeball.
Oh,
And I
okay.
have really bad vision. And like this was maybe like 2 years ago, I had to get them dilated. And I don't know why, I like kind of forgot
Mhm.
about, and I drove myself. So I just forgot,
Oh.
like whatever. And I asked him, I was like, dude, can I drive after this? And he's like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Let me just tell you right now, I was not fine. I walked outside. I could barely see. I had to put my sunglasses on.
They don't give you those things that she was wearing?
No, they do not. They do not. And I had to sit in my car and just wait. And because it eventually you can see and you can like drive and stuff. But I sat there for a long, long time.
So I've never been to the eye doctor. I know that probably sounds crazy to some people, but I just have always had good vision, knock on wood. But
Lucky.
I think I've seen that happen before where they wear like the big, like, I don't even know what to call them, blinders almost.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing, okay, so your pupils are so dilated that you're sensitive to light.
You're
'Cause they're
very
not
sensitive.
adjusting, right?
Yeah. Like I put my sunglasses on as soon as I leave the office. Like even if I'm like not outside yet, because you're so sensitive to light.
Wow.
And your eyes feel numb. It's like really weird.
What if I eventually go to the eye doctor and they're like, oh, you've never had good vision. You're just used to it.
Maybe my vision, can I tell you right now, is negative 10.5 in my left eye and negative 8.5 in my right.
I don't know what that means.
The listeners will know what that means.
Yeah, somebody knows what that means.
Real bad vision.
But 2020 is supposed to be good, allegedly not the best, right? You can actually go higher than that, I guess, which I'm like, what? That's like saying 11 out of 10. Like, no, it's 10 out of 10, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
But whatever, okay. Anywho, moving back to the movie. So now we see May on her lunch break. She has her big, like, I kept wanting to call them goggles.
They're
on.
like aviator sunglasses.
Yeah. She's watching Adam, who she is obsessed with. He's smoking on his break. He's just like sitting on a curb. He's a little stoop kid, staring at his hands the entire time. Like they're zooming in on his hands, really showing that is the only thing she's really focused on.
Yep.
He seems to be a mechanic of some sort. His hands are very dirty. He was also rubbing on that car. So I'm just kind of putting two and two together.
Yeah.
And they really do cut a lot. I noticed when I was writing my notes, they cut scene to scene a lot. We're randomly like at her house, back at her job. She's on the street. So that's going to happen a lot in this. We see that May is a vet assistant, which IMDb did mention.
Yep.
She's at work. When they show her go to work, I completely forgot that Anna Faris was in this movie. When I rewatched it,
I thought that's why you liked it, because she's just like Cindy from Scary Movie.
Oh my gosh. When I rewatched this like a week ago, I got so excited. It's Anna Faris. Yes. So 2003, this came out, or 2002, I want to say.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
That's right around when Scary Movie 2 came out. She looks just like she did in Scary Movie 2. Dark hair.
She acts similarly to how she does.
Yes. And for a moment, when we first meet her, she's like, what is her name again? May. I'm like, what's her name? Polly is Anna Faris's name.
Yeah.
May is obviously May. Polly asks May, May, what the hell is a scoople? And so I was like, did she just get typecast as the same character as Scary Movie 2? But I think we do learn that it's not just her being ditzy. She can't understand the doctor's accent.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I do think that there was a little bit of, because she does play Cindy so well.
Oh my gosh, it's so similar.
Even in House Bunny, she's like kind of ditzy and
Yeah.
she's so fun. I freaking love Anna Faris, man. She's
Me
the best.
too. I love her. So May compliments Polly's neck randomly. You know, they're not talking about anything like that. Polly asks her the question about the scoople, which he's trying to say scalpel. And May's like, I really like your neck. It's beautiful. And Polly is like, oh. She's like, well, thank you. Let's hang out sometime. We can eat melons or something. Like, just very, I kept wanting to call her Cindy.
Yeah.
But I had to look up. I'm like, okay, her name is Polly.
And May looked like pretty jazzed about that.
Oh, yeah. She's happy to have someone that wants to hang out with her.
For sure. Yeah.
May goes back to her apartment. We see this gross couple making out in front of her in the elevator.
Okay. Can I just say, like, they look like grown-ups. Like, they don't look like they're even in their 20s. Like, to me, they look like early 30s, you know.
Yeah.
Why on earth are they making out so hardcore
In front of someone.
Like, okay, maybe if you're in the elevator alone,
Sure.
but
Not only was someone else in there, they stopped and looked at her and were like annoyed and then kept going.
it was so weird. And I'm like, did it really happen, or is that just from May's perspective?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, like, it just seemed so weird to me that people would be doing that.
I'm sure it actually happens. It felt misplaced, but they do bring it back in the end. She is going to see them again in the elevator. When she's a little different.
Right. It's just, I don't know. The whole scene made me, like, a lot of this movie made me uncomfortable, honestly. But that scene specifically, I was like, I hope these people fall down the elevator shaft.
They might, because they're not paying attention. So May gets back home. She puts her new contacts in. They work as described. So she's fucking pumped. Mm-hmm. She's so happy. She's showing Susie. She like surprises her. Like, look, Susie.
She also has a ton of dolls.
Yes.
There are dolls everywhere.
Like baby dolls.
Yes.
Right?
And I think I told you yesterday that I had mentioned to Penelope that I was covering this movie.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, that's my favorite movie of all time. And I hadn't started it yet.
That makes me so happy.
So I watch it and I immediately text her. I'm like, okay, I know exactly why you love this movie. I thought it was so funny. But yeah, Penelope loves May.
I love that. Oh, I hope she listens to this episode.
A lot of dolls, man. She got a lot of dolls.
Yes. So then we see that May is walking down the street. She passes Adam and it looks like she's about to talk to him. So this is like, I'm thinking, oh, this is her date that she was telling the doctor she was going to have. She goes to speak and then he like, I don't know, he like dropped something or turned to whatever he did. She chickens out and she just walks past him.
Okay, can I just say something that I think is like sort of funny? Like May telling the doctor like I have a date, like to me it's like she's trying to like manifest.
Yeah,
like
okay,
you know that gimmick of like you just have to tell yourself that something's already happening.
Okay,
and then you like and then it happens. Like May's ahead of her time.
She is ahead of her time. She took it a little too far.
A little too far, but she's like, you know what, Doc? Actually, I'm gonna will this into existence.
Yeah, maybe she just meant I'm going to have a date after I get these contacts. Like that's that's my catalyst to confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have went an innocent and sweet way. But
it could have.
It doesn't.
It does not. No.
So then that's when I realized like, oh, this is the date she told the doctor she was going to have. That she definitely does not. She has never spoken to this man before.
No.
Now we see May dressing up for Susie. She's feeling more confident. She's showing off different outfits. She goes to a coffee shop where she knows Adam is going to be. She's definitely a little stalker.
Okay, hold on for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Did we bypass over the guy that comes into the vet clinic and tells May that his dog is missing one of his legs? Mm-hmm. He's pretty sure it's in the bushes, and he doesn't know how his dog is missing a leg.
He doesn't know. When he left for vacation or whatever,
the dog had 4 legs, and then he came home, and the dog has 3 legs.
That's so funny because when I was writing my notes, I skipped over that, and I was like, I feel like I should write it down, but then I was like, I'm not going to.
It was such a weird.
It was so weird, yeah.
And like the best part is May's listening to him and she's like,
mm-hmm.
Oh, that doesn't seem so weird to me. Like,
no, it's not weird to her for sure.
I thought he was just like tripping or something.
Yeah, they do bring it back though.
They do.
A little bit.
Yeah, there's a conclusion to that, but it was
Yeah.
just such an odd scene.
It was very odd. I think that's why I was like, I'm not even going to write it down.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out why it was in there.
Yeah. And we'll touch on it a little bit when we get to the conclusion of it. But so she goes to this coffee shop. Adam is there. She's trying to get noticed by him. He doesn't even look her way. Like she's walking over to the sugar. It is sweet.
It was like so cute. She's like, oh, I just need to get a little sugar and some cream.
Yeah. She's like trying to add random shit to her
Listen,
coffee.
I get it. You want to walk by, let him smell your perfume.
Sure.
Just like, whip your hair a little bit.
Once again,
I get it.
Could have been so sweet and innocent.
No, it really could have. It doesn't go that way though.
No.
No.
Adam is reading and he eventually falls asleep with his hand in the air. So, like when you would sleep on a desk in school and you would kind of be laying on your arm and your hand is kind of up in the air and it goes numb. That sucks. But he kind of falls asleep like that where his palm is up, almost like a waiter holding a tray.
This whole scene made me cringe inside.
Oh my gosh. So she sees this and decides this is my opportunity. Girl. She sneaks over. She starts touching his hand, like feeling on it. And then she puts her face in the palm of his hand. Of course he wakes up. Before he even gets up, he's like, hello?
Well, and her hair starts like kind of tickling his face a little bit.
He's like, hello? And she, jumps back. She falls on her ass. He kind of just gets up like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't even really seem, I would be terrified.
Yeah.
Maybe just the other way around. Honestly, I just think because she's this little girl, he's a dude, he doesn't take that as a threat.
I guess.
I would be fucking mortified.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
Oh my gosh. I would never go back to that place. I would want to call the cops on this person. Like
Yeah,
you were
for
just
sure.
touching me in my sleep. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was so weird. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, May, stop it. You can walk by and let him smell your perfume, but don't do that.
Don't do that. So he doesn't seem too alarmed. Now back at work.
No, which is why I was convinced for like half this movie that he was like a predator.
Oh, okay.
I did not like him at all.
He's like, oh, you're weird? Well, guess what? I'm weird too.
Yeah, I just didn't like how he was just like, I don't know. Like you can pick up pretty quickly that May is very, very sheltered and very socially, I don't want to say socially inept because I feel like that's
She's
really harsh.
socially
but
awkward for
she's
sure.
like more than that.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
really has no social cues or skills at
Yeah.
all. And he definitely knows that. And it just made me feel really weird and uncomfortable that he was willing to get close to her.
I think after the laundromat scene, especially, he should have known.
Yeah, like I was
Should
just
have
like,
known something.
it just to me, I was like, do you really want to get involved with someone that clearly is not in the, I don't want to say in the right state of mind, but like isn't mature enough to really
Yeah.
understand what's happening?
Yeah.
Because that's certainly how it came across to me.
I didn't think that, but when you said it and I rewatched it again, especially the laundromat scene in particular, which we'll get into details.
Yeah.
Because I wrote down why I think, I was like, oh, yeah, I do see what you're saying.
It's just like icky.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
So back at work, May is taking a scalpel. And I think she's just, she's upset that this whole thing went down, didn't go according to plan to her. So she's just like sitting at this desk, taking a scalpel and sticking it in the top of her thumb, just making herself bleed. Polly sees this and she's like, girl, what are you doing? And May's like, I'm just doing it to relax. And then Polly, being, a little interesting, maybe a little eccentric herself, she's like, ooh, do me, do me. So May does. She takes her thumb and just pokes it. And Polly's like, you crazy bitch, immediately. And then she's like, actually, I kind of liked it. I feel like from this point on, every single thing that Polly says is laced with like a sexual connotation.
Well, on the rewatch, I feel like everything she says right from the beginning is sexually charged.
Everything.
Yeah.
This is when I started to notice it, where I was like, oh, yeah, like everything is like that vibe to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
So, do me again. And then May does, and she's just like loving it.
Yeah, she's into it.
I'm not gonna kink shame if everything is consenting. No one's getting hurt. Someone might be getting hurt in this scenario, but
Listen, whatever you're into, man.
So a guy,
So the weird guy's back.
yes, okay.
And he found his dog's leg in the rose bushes.
Yes.
And May's like, yeah, I could sew that back on your dog.
Yes.
I just have to say, I understand why they put the scene in terms of like May is capable of reattaching limbs. Like I
Right.
get that. It's just, it was such a weird way of like explaining that to the audience.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to sew on that leg that's been missing from the dog for who knows days at this point?
Yeah.
You can't reattach that to the dog. And so is she going to ask like the vet to do it?
Yeah.
Like it was just so odd.
I think maybe that's why, because she's saying, so yeah, he explains like, hey, I found it in the rose bushes. Can you reattach it? And May's just staring at him. And you think, at first I thought she's going to be like, no, you dumbass. But then she's like, yeah, I can. And you're like, what? So maybe that's why, just because we know that leg has been missing for days. I don't think that's how it works.
Right.
But she's just like, yeah, I can do it. Physically, I'm sure she can. Doesn't mean it's going to work. But maybe that's what they were kind of trying to portray, that she is capable of these things, even if we know that's not how it works.
Yeah, for sure. I think like it was trying to show us like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, she can do that. It's just, it was
interesting.
so weird. I was like, how what is happening here?
It was an interesting choice. And another thing I thought was maybe the reason was, especially the first part of it, was that it was a little bit of comic relief, because this does have comedy in it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It was funny. I was just, but when he came back with the leg, I was
know.
like, oh shit, okay. Like,
Yeah.
what, your dog didn't bleed out? Like, that's just so confusing to me.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions there. So we get to the laundromat scene. This is what I was referencing earlier. And May finally gets to speak to Adam at the laundromat. You know, they're on not the same machine. They're on a machine next to each other. He doesn't have any laundry detergent. She awkwardly gives him some of hers. She like spills it on his shirt in the process. She's just so awkward here. And I just want to mention, she looks like a child here.
I know.
That's where I was like, okay, I see what you're saying. She has like these raggedy pigtails in. She's a very petite person.
Mm-hmm.
She is looking at him in a very coy way, like looking at him through her eyebrows. Is that how you say it? Or like through your brow?
Yeah, like you're like looking up through your lashes at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very innocent, very coy, very childlike. So that's where I was like, oh yeah, I do see it here. I think
the whole scene is weird. Like they go outside and he offers her a cigarette.
yeah, he asked if she wants to come smoke with him and she agrees, even though she doesn't smoke.
Yeah, and when she like takes the cigarette, like you would know immediately that this girl has that she doesn't smoke, and that honestly she should not be out there with him.
Yeah, I feel like he should have immediately been like, how old are you? Because she looks like she could be 12.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Like, and listen, I'm not saying that she's not allowed to have, relations with people. That's
Right.
not it. It's just that to me, how could he not see that she was vastly inexperienced?
Yeah,
and way out of her depths.
He might have seen it.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, there's no way he didn't.
Yeah.
And he continued to pursue her, even though she was pursuing him.
Yeah, she definitely was.
Like,
Yeah.
a good person, like a good man, would have been like, no,
Something's off here.
something's wrong here. Or not wrong, but like, I don't think that this is a good idea.
Right. Well, he does eventually say something, it didn't feel right, but he
continues
Yeah.
to hang out with her.
though I will also say, I mean, everything you're saying is correct. I do think people do this in general, even outside of a situation where it's someone who, is childlike. I think that a lot of times people are curious and they're like, I just want to see it through. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I do get that. I do. I think maybe I just feel protective of May.
Yeah.
Because we know her backstory.
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
just, if I was interacting with a man like that, it would be like immediately I'd be like, oh, like this guy is clearly like has a lot of immaturity.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is going to be a good situation.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
I understand what you're saying.
I really didn't like him.
When I first watched it, I looked at it from a perspective in this scene in particular, because I wasn't really focused on the other aspects of it. The way I kind of looked at it casually, especially toward the end, he gives her the pack of cigarettes and he's like, here you go, practice. And, I'll see you around.
Who the fuck says that?
I know.
That's why I'm saying he's looking at her
Yeah.
like she's juvenile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Practice? The fuck?
But in the moment, the way I was looking at it was, oh, he's just being nice to her. He's just trying to be nice to her.
Which, when I was watching it, there were moments where I was like, okay, he's just entertaining this.
Yes.
But I picked, like, to me, it seemed like that's all it was. He
Yeah.
was entertaining himself because
Yeah.
he's into, like, you know, they show him into, like,
He thinks he's like a hardcore weirdo.
he does. He does. He loves horror movies. I mean, there at one point he's like, I'm going to see an Argento movie. You don't know what that is? It's just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. But, like, to me, it's like, it's so predatory. Like, I don't know. It made me so mad.
So it's interesting. Do you look at Polly the same way?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I don't like her either.
Yeah. I think with Polly, I looked at her more of like also being a little oblivious because
Yes.
of her personality.
Okay, so I will say that. I felt like with Polly, she knew that May was inexperienced,
Yeah.
but I do think there was also that, like, she's kind of in her own world and she doesn't really pay attention.
They make her like overly sexual. Also, there is a double standard there. There just is.
Right.
For Polly, it's a little more like, ooh, like, yeah, I want to experiment with this girl.
Yeah,
You
even
know?
that. It's just, it made me, it did. Honestly, I felt like May was surrounded by people that just did not have her best interest at heart at all. And it drove her to do what she does later
Yeah.
in the movie. I know I'm
Yeah.
going off.
No, that's
But
what
I
we're here
wanted
to do.
I wanted to beat the shit out of Adam. Like, I wish I could have been there to just take a baseball bat and be like, Adam, get the fuck
Yeah.
away from May.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, so gives her the pack of cigarettes to practice. Later, we see Polly purposely runs into Adam on the street again, the same place that she almost spoke to him that first time.
Did you just call May Polly?
I think I sure did. I wrote down Polly for some reason. I just do that when I'm typing. I'll just be like, my brain for some reason.
Yeah.
But yes, sorry. May purposely runs into Adam, same spot where she almost spoke to him the first time, and kind of bumps into him. And he's like, oh, like girl from the laundromat, whatever, May. And he invites her to have lunch with him. He's on his break too. She knows that because she was watching him earlier.
Okay, and like he offers her half of his like sandwich.
Oh my gosh. When he cut it in half with a pocket knife,
I literally went, ooh.
Okay, yes, it's a kind gesture.
Whatever.
Gesture. But it just grossed me out because I just think that pocket knife had to be so dirty. His hands were dirty. The sandwich is now dirty. That's all I could think of.
Dude, and I don't know if it's just me, but like if some guy was like, you know, hey, yeah, do you want to grab lunch with me? And he pulled a sandwich out and cut it with a fucking, I was supposed to say X-Acto knife, pocket knife, I would immediately be like,
I'm
you know
good.
what? Yeah, let's rain check this.
Yeah, or maybe like, I'm not hungry. You eat. Go ahead. We'll just chat with you or something.
Yeah, like, I don't know. That would make me immediately be like,
you know what I just realized too while we're talking about this? That and then later when we see them like sitting in that car and they're eating chips and salsa, it's supposed to be a date.
yeah.
It like the bar is on the floor for May.
Dude, that's what, okay, again.
She's like, well, I'm on a date with him. It's like the shittiest date.
And I'm not saying like when you go on a date, the guy has to spend all this money.
Of course.
No. They're just, you just have to have like a tiny bit of forethought.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I've asked this girl to have lunch with me.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't cut the sandwich with my nasty ass pocket knife.
Yeah. I think and also we're not just like, oh, this guy, he's dirty, whatever. It's more of little things adding up to tell a bigger picture and a bigger story for May here.
Yes, exactly. And like where his intentions lie and how he knows that she's not going to realize that this is not
Yeah,
cool.
She's going to accept the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm like, hold on. And now it reminds me of like, I don't think that there's a difference in age here, but like we said, he knows that she looks juvenile and acts childlike.
Yeah.
And how often do we see like that older guy that's like maybe in his early 20s, but he's talking to high schoolers because he knows that they don't know that he's a fucking bum.
Dude, that's okay. Thank you. I mean, I say this all the
wait a
time.
minute. Yeah, fuck Adam.
You articulate things like so much better, especially when I'm getting like really, really frustrated. I just cannot find my words, but that you're nailing it. That's exactly right.
That you could definitely
He knows like he's a fucking loser. I'm sorry.
Oh, he definitely is a loser for sure.
And it's not because of his job. It's not because of what he likes.
Exactly.
Like, that's not it. It's how he treats people. And not only that, later in the movie, he pushes a girl right off of him.
Yeah, like on her ass. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
anyways.
he's definitely an asshole.
I'm sorry. I'm just
No,
like-
I'm like, yeah, you're right. Hold on. No, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing your side for sure. But yes, anyway. So she eats a sandwich. She's totally happy about it. She loves it. And they start talking about work, and she's like, I don't know, my work is kind of gross. This is another thing. This is why I think he's a loser, because he thinks he's like this hardcore weirdo and he loves horror movies and he edits movies, and they're like, yeah, and
I
they're
went
like
to
bloody
film school, but I dropped out.
Yeah.
It's like,
but
cool.
he is not as hardcore as May.
Oh no.
He is not as hardcore as May, but he thinks he is. So he's like, oh, I love gross. Disgusts me. Like, he just thinks like, oh yeah, I can handle it. She starts telling a very detailed story about how, long story short, is they used too small of sutures on a dog.
Can I just stop you right there?
Yeah.
I fast forwarded this whole part. I could not listen to it.
It's gross.
I
I
couldn't
won't go into
watch
detail.
it. It just like, I couldn't. Sorry.
I will just tell you the long story short of it. Sutures were too small. They burst. Guts spilled out. That's long story short. But she goes into detail. So if you want to watch that scene, it is funny to watch, because his reaction as she's going on, he's disgusted. Like, now he stops eating and he's like you just said disgust me, but you can't handle like some guts.
Yeah, like that's not what I meant, actually.
Yeah. She's like, at the end, she goes, it was a mess, and just giggles, takes a bite of her sandwich, and he looks very disturbed.
But he also likes it.
So yeah, he stops eating, he looks grossed out, but then he's like, so I guess your job takes a lot of guts, which is funny.
Yeah,
I will give him that.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty funny. But he was not expecting her to go into that graphic of detail, I think.
Yeah.
So this is where he says like, oh yeah, I'm going to see a movie. Go, because she wants to hang out that night. He's like, oh, I can't. I'm going to see a movie. He's like, trauma. Oh, you haven't heard of Trauma?
I honestly, I can't. This reminds me of like those people that when you say, oh yes, blah, blah, blah is my favorite band. And they're like, oh, do you like this album? Do you like name every single song?
Name 5 songs.
I hate people like that. Honestly, I find it so annoying. But I did want to point out 2 things about the scene. One, May notices that there are children in the background and they are from a daycare. They're all blind. And she points that, like, she asks Adam about it. So that's interesting to her. And then I also wrote, I just have to say this. So she lights up a cigarette and she's like trying to play it cool again. And it's really weird. And I made a note and I said, I feel like Adam is just generally he's very bored with his life right now. And she is like his amusement and entertainment.
I could see that.
Like that, at that point, I wasn't like freaking out. I wasn't like raging at that point. I was just like, oh, he's using her because he's bored with his life. And she's like kind of interesting to him. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
Or easily influenced by him.
Yeah. Something shiny and new. And yes, that he might have some type of power over that could definitely be it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely like a power dynamic there.
And he knows that she's in love with him.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So who doesn't want like a little attention sometimes? I'm not saying it's okay to do that, but like that could be a motivation for him.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. And anyways, she doesn't want him to go. She's like, oh, don't go to that movie. Like, hang out with me, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I'll hang out with you later. And I thought like this, I thought was cute. She shakes his hand. And obviously it's because she's like obsessed with his hands. Yeah. But when she shakes his hand, I guess because we're wrestlers and like that is like etiquette is like you just shake hands, which by the way, I really hate having to shake everyone's hands, like just because I'm a germaphobe. Yeah. But they shake hands and he definitely notices that she is like super into his hands. But I didn't think it was that weird that she shook his hand.
No, I didn't think it was weird. Is this where he's like, do you want to take him with you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
She's like, don't tempt me.
Yeah, she loves his hands.
She really does. So May goes back to work and we see that Polly is at the desk. She's like a receptionist.
Yeah, so she's sucking her thumb.
She's sucking her thumb the same way that she did when May pricked it. So she's definitely doing it trying to get May's attention. Like she's doing it in like a sexual way toward May.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not notice that on the first watch.
Oh, yeah? The reason I know the reason I realized it, I guess, is because May is not paying any attention to her. She's in love with Adam. She zooms right past Polly and Polly's like... Like you can see that she's frustrated because May did not even look at her.
Interesting. I totally didn't catch that.
Then we see May dancing in front of Susie. She's practicing kissing on her hand. She's practicing with her Barbie dolls.
With her dolls. Yeah.
And then she's like, thanks for the advice, doll, to Susie or something like that. So she's getting advice from Susie now.
Oh, God.
Now we cut to May back with Adam. This is where they're in the old car. So I'm assuming it's like, you know, something that is in his garage, or it's just like an old car he maybe was working on.
Yeah.
He's eating chips and salsa off the dashboard, which I guess is their date. Look, I'm not knocking low maintenance.
I love chips and salsa.
I love chips and salsa, and
I love hanging.
I love hanging out. I
Dude,
love
yeah.
low maintenance.
Me too. I don't want to go to a fancy restaurant.
Oh my gosh, where everything is so fucking expensive and your food is tiny and you're still hungry.
And you're wearing like tight clothes. Oh, no.
I am literally wearing Zubas right now underneath my blanket if you're
Yeah.
watching the YouTube video.
Dude, like, oh my God, a first date, like, keep it really low key, keep it chill.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so down for just like a big fat pizza and just like a hang sesh.
In sweatpants?
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You want to be comfortable.
Yeah. And it's not to say like you can wine and dine me for sure.
Absolutely.
However,
We love balance.
there's got to be balance. And I hate that whole thing of like when you first start dating someone and you have to like, I don't know, like look good. And,
Or like not eat? Absolutely the fuck not.
No way, dude. I am going to eat all of it.
I'm smashing some wings. Like you're going to see the worst of me.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. I want you to see the absolute worst sides of me. And then if you're still in, all right, we're cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But like we said earlier, this is just a small piece of a larger picture for May, which, you know, she got dressed up like she's going on a date. And this is the date he brought her on. Because it's not really a date to him. He's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, we'll hang out.
Yeah, I don't think he's looking at her, at least not at this point, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
She does ask him. She's like, do you like me, Adam?
Okay, now I'm remembering.
You're like, now I'm getting pissed.
Oh yeah, this conversation, nah, he knew what he was doing, man. He's a fucking predator.
He's just kind of stringing her along because he's like, of course I like you.
Yeah, like,
Listen, okay, now I'm getting mad. Now you're getting me worked up
Sorry.
because I'm thinking about just low maintenance ass, nonchalant. I can't stand a nonchalant ass motherfucker. I can't stand it. If you better give me all the chalantness.
No,
'Cause
I'm with you.
If you are nonchalant, I'm out.
dude, I'm with you 100%. You better be like
Enthusiastic as fuck.
yeah, exactly. And honestly, if somebody says like, do you like me? First of all, I ain't asking you if you like me. If I
No.
can't tell that you like me, we
Right.
got a fucking problem.
Yes.
But if I said to you, like, hey, do you like me? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, of course I like you.
Okay.
Like, look, playing it cool like that is not cool. It's
It is
actually
not even kind of cool.
I get why we think it's cool in high school. It's because we're children, but it's not fucking cool. It's really annoying, and I'm absolutely not about it.
How old are these people, do you think?
May has to be an adult. She has her own apartment.
20s?
Sure, early 20s, I would say.
How old do you think Adam is?
I think mid to early 20s.
You think early 20s?
I'm being generous. He could be.
He looks like he's like 28 to me.
Sure. Yeah. I think in their 20s somewhere.
28 is like old enough to not be.
Remember when we thought 28 was so fucking old?
Oh, yeah.
Remember when high school seniors would look like grown ass men?
Yes,
And
dude.
they're children.
I know.
So crazy. Perspective is a crazy thing.
This episode is so all over the place. Oh my God.
I think we're keeping it together.
We're trying. Okay, so she asks him, like, do you like me? And he's like, yeah, I like you. And then she asks him if he thinks she's weird. And he's like, yeah, girl, you're weird. But I like weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
May ends up saying something like, you're perfect to him.
Oh, she wraps his arm around her. That's what I'm saying. He knows that he has the upper hand here, and I don't like that shit, man.
He says something about no one's perfect, and she's like, you're perfect. And then he's like, want to see my room? I'm like, are you in fucking high school?
Okay, when he said that, I was like, there's a reason he's interested in May, because someone his own age would be like, no, I don't want to see your room.
Your room? Or do you live with your parents?
Yeah,
And I'm
right?
not saying in this economy, there's nothing wrong with living with your parents, okay?
No.
But still, it feels, you're like, what? And I'm also assuming it's maybe because he has roommates. But still, it just
came across so
we just
like,
hate him at this point. So we're like,
I know,
everything he says, we're like, shut up, Adam.
It's like that thing when you start to like hate someone, everything they do, like them just taking your breath, you're like, can you fucking breathe quieter?
Yeah, for sure. So May goes into his room. She's more than happy to go see his room. She's not looking at it like this at all.
Right.
She finds a knife on the mantle, or it's probably not even a mantle. It's probably just a shelf.
Hold on, you have to describe the room.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like there's like shit all over the walls that are like, I don't know, quote unquote weird, right? Like
Yes.
images of, I remember there's one that almost looks like it looks like a the saw trap.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah,
there's
like someone's head in a saw trap.
yeah, exactly. It just very to me screams like film student.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
that's
Which he is, right?
which he is. Yeah, like a you know, like he just discovered Italian horror
For the first time.
for the
And he's
first
like,
time, and he's
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be my new aesthetic."
Yeah, and even though he only watched one movie, he's like, "Oh, you haven't heard of that?"
Oh, I hated that line so much. Oh my god. But yeah, so his room is but it's also like kind of, it's messy. It's a little bit chaotic. There's kind of stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And she picks up a knife.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "You're on to me. I'm a psycho." Now everything, it's so funny because I did not feel this way writing these notes, but now you have turned me.
Fuck this guy.
And then he goes to stab her in the stomach, and we realize it's a retractable knife.
Yeah, it's like a little prop knife.
The way I would be out.
Oh,
You
that
think
is the
that's funny?
biggest red flag.
Absolutely the fuck not. More concerning, though, I think, is that May does not even flinch.
I was about to say the same thing. Like she does. It's almost like she's like, yeah, okay.
She's just smiling.
I'll let this guy stab me.
She's like,
Okay, I will say this too, though. Like as a horror fan,
mm-hmm.
if like I don't know, maybe I wouldn't be that weirded out by like a like prop knife like that. If I like knew the guy
If
and
you
it was
knew
like
them.
and I knew that they were like a horror fan.
If you did that to me, I would be like, haha. I would laugh.
Yeah, but like
I don't know why I just said that. I would be like, haha.
not someone I'm just dating.
You're just meeting this
Just
person.
meeting them.
Going to their house for the first time is a very, very vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just, you know,
That's such a good point.
that it's just scary because you don't know if this person is going to try to murder you.
I know. Do you know when I was in high school, I went to this boy that I liked. He was older than me. I don't know why I did shit like this. He was
We all
older than
did.
me, and he was like literally like in a different city, far enough that I had to take a train to get there.
Holy shit.
And I used to wear like baggy ass pants in high school.
Hell yeah.
And I put a can of hairspray in one pocket and a lighter in the other, and I just in case I needed to like blowtorch his ass because I was going to his house, and
That
like,
was your weapon of choice.
that was my weapon of choice. Yeah.
Because was it because you felt like if you put a knife in your pocket, you would get in trouble versus not hairspray, like a hairspray and lighter? They're not going to be like, you can't have that.
No, I think that was just my first choice.
That is a wild first choice, but I also love it. You really are you are Torch from
I
Puppet
know,
Master.
for real. No, but I did. And then I remember like I got there and I was like, oh, he lived with his parents, and like I was like, oh, he seems like relatively normal. Oh, and then I remember I told him, because I was such a little weirdo in high school, honestly. I was like, yeah, I actually brought, and I showed it to him, and I remember him looking at me like, what?
And now you're like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but at the time I was like, what? Like, I didn't know. You're like really tall. Like, what if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to defend myself from you. I don't know you that well.
Yeah. I know. That's pretty wild. I still can't believe I did stupid
No,
shit
I think
like that.
honestly, I think that's smart. I was thinking hairspray and like your own homemade flamethrower is
Yeah.
really smart because you're not going to get in trouble for having a lighter and a can of hairspray on you. But if you
true.
have a weapon, like
Yeah.
a knife or a gun,
Yeah.
That's-
no, true.
yeah,
I did have I had mace too. I had all kinds of shit on me all the
that's
time.
good. Honestly, you gotta protect yourself.
Yeah. Oh my god. I have pepper spray on me at 24/7.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay. So even more concerning, not only is May not flinching, but she takes the knife in his hand still and fake stabs herself in the chest while she's like creepily grinning at him. Now, if I was him, I would be out.
Yeah.
Because then she takes it and pretends to stab him in the chest too. And she's doing it in like a sort of, there's like a sexual
For sure.
undertone there.
Yeah.
To each their own, once again, not trying to yuck your yum or whatever, but I would be out.
I've never heard that before. Yuck your yum.
It's so funny to me when people say that. Then they start kissing. Because, you know, naturally you're like, all right, let's bang. Since after the next step after you fake stab each other is bang, right?
Well, it did seem very like sexually suggestive.
Oh, it was.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And they're both weird. I'm a weirdo. I just think self-described anything is kind of cringe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like if you are whatever.
Even though I just referred to myself as being like weird in high school, I feel like we were all
No.
weird in high school.
I think I also look at that different because you're looking back on something.
Right,
You're
right,
not
right.
saying
Where I'm like, that was fucking weird.
hi, I'm an empath. Like,
Oh
okay.
God, we talked about that before.
I know. If you really are, like other people are going to be saying that about you. You don't have to say it about yourself.
And I also think too, like just liking horror movies, like doesn't make you weird, man. It just doesn't.
And also, I don't think being weird is a bad thing
I know.
necessarily. There are levels though.
But I think saying I'm so weird.
Exactly.
It's just like, okay.
I'm a psycho. I'm a weirdo. I'm like, okay, relax.
Okay, I'm not into you anymore, so.
Relax. Okay, so they start kissing. And she ends up being a little too aggressive, and she kind of like rushes him into the wall or something, like into a shelf. And he's like, whoa, whoa, and backs her off. And he's like, who taught you how to kiss? I don't know what she did here because I don't think she bites him yet.
I was so mad when he said that.
It was just rude.
It was just rude.
You could be like, oh, relax a little bit.
Oh, really? You're just noticing now that she is extremely inexperienced?
Oh, you didn't notice that before with the fucking lopsided pigtails? Like that indicates an experience. So now it's so funny. I thought this was funny anyway because she just whispers, Susie.
I know. I was literally
so
like,
creepy.
she's so pissed. So
Yeah.
she's like, Susie, you bitch.
Yeah, and then she goes
You gave
home.
me the wrong advice.
Yeah, she goes home and she starts reaming Susie out. She's like, who taught you how to kiss? She smashes like hammer fist the top of Susie's glass. It cracks a little bit and then it also cuts her hand.
Yeah.
Now we cut to work. Her hand is wrapped up. Polly walks in the room. She's holding a cat named Loopy, an all gray cat. He kind of looks like Dolly a little bit, my cat Dolly.
Yeah.
But he's just all gray
But
instead
he's
of
gray.
white.
Yeah.
He's just very fluffy. So she brings in a cat. She's like, hey, what happened to your hand? Blah, 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 whatever. She has this cat because she needs to rehome him.
See, this is why I also don't like Polly, because she manipulates May here.
Yeah.
Like she's coming on to her.
Yeah.
And dancing with her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all because she wants May to take care of her cat for her.
Yeah.
And like take the cat because she can't keep it anymore.
Yeah. I guess I didn't look at it as her trying to convince her to do it, but that does make sense. She's like, come on, May, dance with me.
Maybe I just hate everyone in this movie. I don't know.
No, but looking back on it, that does make sense. I think you can look at it from either perspective. I think I looked at Polly as being a little more oblivious and innocent, but that makes sense that she's like flirting with her. She brings in this cat and is like, come on, don't you want to like, why is she putting it on May? Maybe because she also realizes that May is kind of a pushover.
She's a pushover and she'll just be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Polly convinces May to dance with her. This was funny. She's like, do you like pussy? Cat. There is a moment where May's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, cat. Oh, you're a little freak or whatever she says to her. Like, you're naughty, whatever. She's trying to rehome her kitty. And then she convinces May to do it. Polly's like, thanks, doll, or whatever she calls her. She keeps calling her like a random name every time and kisses her right on the mouth. They like zoom in on it and May's a little like thrown back, like, oh. So Polly does invite May out here. She's like, it's girls' night tonight. It was so, I don't know if salacious is the right word here, but how she delivers this line is like dripping with sexuality.
Right.
She tells her it's girls' night tonight. Like, do you want to come out? And she doesn't want to, or May doesn't want to because she's too upset. And Polly's like, I know you need your beauty rest. Not much of it though. And then turns and walks away. It was so extra.
Very extra.
So back at home, May leaves Adam a voicemail.
Okay, but can I say
Yes.
what his answering machine is?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I liked it. Actually.
Please leave a message after the scream. I actually did I liked it.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, like an actual scream.
I thought that was cute.
And she kind of giggles too while she's waiting for it.
That's the only thing I like about Adam. He's got a good answering machine.
That's it. We'll give you that. She leaves a very awkward message, of course. Mm-hmm. And
that, oh my God, in the notes, I said, I wish she had a girlfriend to help her with this.
I know. And
like,
not
I wish
Polly.
she had an AK to be like, listen, he's not cute. I promise. You've got like, your brain is thinking something that, you know what I mean? Or like, you're not into him. You're just bored or like something, right?
Yes. But she doesn't. She's by herself. She only has Susie and she's pissed at Susie right now. She leaves this awkward voicemail and then she just stares at the phone.
Just waiting for Adam to call her back.
Yeah. We see a little montage of her just sulking. Everywhere she goes, sulking. And then there's a song also playing during this scene. It plays in a different part in the movie too. I don't know why I thought it was so funny. It's like, when he calls me kitten.
Yeah. It's in a bunch of scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. It's literally called When He Calls Me Kitten. Which I don't know how I personally feel about that, but the lyrics for some reason I thought they were funny when it was happening.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a book that I'm reading. The guy calls the girl kitten, but he's a vampire.
I was just gonna say it definitely feels sexual. Like, it reminds me of people that go to like anime conventions.
I feel like Spike from Buffy called someone kitten.
Hey, kitten.
I think of like a vampire using that.
I don't think of it ever being used in a way that's not sexual. Like, hey, kitten, like a little
Or like a pet name.
sex kitten. I don't know. Isn't that a thing? I put my hand on my hip if you're not watching YouTube. I don't know why. It just, I don't know. I don't like it.
No, I get it. It gives you the ick, man.
It just, you know what? It's infantilizing. That's what I don't like about it.
Oh, got you. Okay.
But once again, do you?
Yeah, whatever you're into, man.
Yeah.
As we just judge so hard, we're like, whatever you're into.
We keep judging every little thing. They're like, you know what? But to each their own. As long as you say that at the end, it's fine. You're not being a bitch about it. But it's because we just, I don't know, want to say what our preference is. We want to talk about it, but we don't want to judge you. If as long as you're not hurting anyone, do you? I feel the need to explain. Am I over explaining now?
We're not judging you. Anyways.
We're totally not. Okay. So finally, Adam is about to leave his house and boom.
She goes to his house, dude.
May is standing on the front porch when he opens the door.
Oh, dude. Also, I want to say that May is really good seamstress. She makes herself some really nice outfits.
I'm laughing because one of the outfits she's wearing, I wrote, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I don't remember them all.
One of them, it's like literally a patch is like sewn on it of a different fabric, like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my God, I don't remember all of them.
But she has a good seamstress. She has talent.
She has an eye.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's standing on a... You're like, it's beautiful. She has an eye. Oh my gosh, she does have an eye. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Oh, I just hit the mic. Oh my God. Okay. Just shut me up. Let's keep going.
No, you're good. So May is standing on his porch. Stalker. Total stalker. We already knew she was a stalker, but now we find out that she's been standing there for at least 2 hours.
Yes.
And he's like, are you serious? And she's like, what do you think?
And he's like, I'm sorry I didn't call you.
Yeah, like, oh, sorry I didn't get back to you. I just finished editing this movie. And she's like, oh, I want to watch it. And she's like, let me see it. I'll make you macaroni and cheese.
I wrote in the notes, this guy's a fucking loser. Sorry, but yeah, he is.
I love that you're like having a conversation with yourself. Sorry, but yeah. I love that those are your notes. And he's like, oh, dinner and a movie? Sounds like a date. So he does kind of look like he's debating it. He doesn't want to, but once again, you could look at it as he's just trying to be nice. You could look at it as he's like, oh, I want to be entertained by this girl who's in love with me. I like the attention.
Yeah. And he's showing off his movie. He wants to show off his like shitty ass.
Oh my gosh.
Film school movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knows that she's like totally like obsessed with him. So I think she's like he's getting off on it.
So they go to her house or her apartment.
Yes, and she like makes them dinner and she pours drinks in like fancy glasses and he's like, is this Gatorade? And she's like, uh-huh.
Oh yeah. I do like the little comedy elements they put here.
But I thought that was it's just like so innocent.
It is cute. Yeah.
I mean, you need to stay hydrated.
And I like Gatorade.
Oh, I can't stand Gatorade.
Oh, because you are like traumatized by having too much of it.
Yeah, from the colonoscopy. Oh
yeah.
God.
I remember you told me about that.
I mean, it really wasn't that bad, but I don't think I'll ever drink it for fun.
For fun. So she's like, they're kind of having whatever conversation. It's kind of quiet too. And then she's like, you'll never believe what I had to do at work today. And he immediately stops eating. Which I love mac and cheese.
Oh,
sounds
dude,
so good right now.
I would eat it. I would eat the shit out of mac and cheese tonight.
We should look it up.
No, we really should.
Let's find a place that does vegan one for you for sure.
Oh my God.
So now she wants to watch his movie that he just finished editing. It's his it's a little horror movie.
It's called Jack and Jill, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it said at the beginning?
I think it did. Now that you say that, I can picture it. I wrote, because the song, I thought it was called this, but it's just the song that's playing. My Baby Does the Hanky Panky.
Oh, yeah. I like that he chose that song, though.
I do like that song.
I didn't like the movie.
No.
But I did like...
no.
But I did like that they were, like, eating each other.
It felt like it really felt like a film school student movie.
Yeah, like to me, like I think he thought it was like super edgy, right? And it's like, oh, it's so like sexual, but also it's like crazy.
Yeah, like no one's gonna be able to handle this. He didn't say any of this, but because of what we already know about him, I'm just
thinking that's what he's thinking.
Exactly.
But I will say, like, I thought them like I didn't think it was terrible. I just like as a concept.
Yeah, so it's a black and white movie. It's a couple at a picnic. That song is playing throughout the whole thing. They're like eating, then they're making out, then they're kind of rubbing on each other, then they start eating each other.
They start eating each other, but they're like, are they banging or like they're like close to banging?
I think they're close to banging,
Yeah.
and they're eating each other in like a happy way. Like they're like, you know, the girl's biting off his whole finger, and they're both smiling still.
Yeah, like it's very like film school, like, but it's like I don't think it's like a terrible short. It just
No.
doesn't. I don't know. It just
Honestly, so I went to there's an event. It's an erotic art show in Detroit called the Dirty Show. It runs 2 weekends every year. It's in February. I just went last weekend, and it definitely felt like a movie that they would have been airing in the little section where they show independent films that
like,
get submitted.
And I hate to like give this guy like any credit,
Right?
Because I just hate him so much. But I don't know. I didn't think it was terrible.
No, I didn't think it was terrible, and it also felt very early 2000s, which this was recorded in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
After the movie, he asks, of course, "What did you think?" And she thinks it's sweet,
Okay.
but she doesn't think the girl could have bitten off his finger in one bite. That was a little far-fetched.
I loved that. I loved when she said that.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So of course, because, you know, she just flattered him, she likes his movie, they start hooking up. Everything is going fine, but then she bites his lip a little too hard and he starts bleeding.
And he's like bleeding all over a towel.
He is bleeding a lot.
And she's like licking his finger and like she is super into it.
Yeah.
And he is like, dude, this is weird. Like, I need to get out of here. And I didn't realize how much blood there was until he leaves. And then you see all over her mouth and chest, like there's just blood everywhere.
Yeah, like at one point he looks back, he sees Susie. That's when I remember they're at her apartment.
Yeah.
He's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then he's like, I'm fucking bleeding. I need a towel." She's like, "I know." And she starts rubbing it. She's like, oh, she says, "It's just like your movie." And he's like, "May, this is weird." And she's like, "You like weird." And then he goes, "Not that weird."
I mean, I don't blame him at this point.
I don't blame him at all
Because like if it was fake blood, but it's not, so it's like really disturbing, obviously.
yes, like, okay, obviously we love horror movies,
Yeah.
but we need a veil of fiction over the horror in order to enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I think
When it's real, it's different.
But it pissed me off again though, because how do you not know that she is like socially
You already knew she was weird
yeah.
in a way that's a little scary. Like she stalked you.
Yeah, like I think now it's gone too far for him, but you have been stringing this girl along and he's so fucking gross. Man.
Yeah.
I just dropped so many F-bombs in this episode and I apologize for that.
I love it. I love a good F-bomb. But when he leaves, he shuts the door. He hears May inside yelling, "I told you to face the wall."
No, she says face the goddamn wall.
Right. That part was funny. Also,
I popped.
we don't hear her voice get that loud usually in this movie.
No, but she always freaks out on Susie.
Oh, on Susie? Yeah.
Yeah.
She screams at her. They cut to May at work. She's with a doctor. They're doing surgery on a cat. This really has nothing to do with the movie, but I just thought it was funny, so I wrote it down. The doctor drops something inside the open wound.
I had to fast forward all that. I didn't watch any of that.
Okay, I won't
Sorry.
describe it in detail. But they're doing surgery. May helps him get it out, whatever it is. And he's like, "Okay, good. Kitty, live now." Imagine it's your pet getting surgery. He accidentally drops something.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I just thought that was funny.
I fast forwarded every single scene that had to do with like an animal.
Yeah. Well, I will say this was surgery. So the animal wasn't like dying or anything.
Yeah, true. I
But
just can't. I just
could
can't.
have.
I just can't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
So May goes to stand on Adam's porch again.
Oh God, this scene.
Girl,
This scene was like.
get a clue. Yeah. So there is a part of me that like, yes, I hate Adam. I'm on team fuck Adam for sure. But also May is not, she's not okay and she's not doing the right things.
Oh no, 100%.
So there is a part where I'm like, yeah, I get why you're like, this girl got to go, but you went about it all the wrong way. So I'm on team fuck Adam and I'm on team fuck May, which we'll get there.
Oh, yeah. No. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say something about this scene. She goes to his house uninvited. She stands outside the door and she eavesdrops on the conversation.
Right.
And this is why I did like it's like, yeah, it's sad. I feel sad for her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like people talk shit. You have to debrief with your friends. And
Yeah.
sometimes, unfortunately, the conversation, you don't want anyone to overhear it.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to vent shit out.
Yeah, because when you're speaking to that person directly, you're going to, I mean, ideally, you're a little more tactful to them because you're keeping their feelings, you know, in consideration.
Of course.
Versus when you are just being blunt, relaying the story to someone else, you might just say it in a way that's a little harsh.
Right. And it's also like when it's like your best friend and you're just like, I need to get this. Like, dude, this situation is so fucked up, blah, 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 blah. And it's not meant to hurt the other person because you're not saying it to them.
Right.
And to me, I don't think that is directly like talking shit about someone.
Yeah.
I think it's like, that's kind of how it's like going to therapy. You have to get things off your chest. And sometimes they're just not nice.
Yeah. I think that there's a difference for sure.
Right. So I don't know. Like, and she went to his house uninvited.
Again.
And she eavesdropped.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, it's hard. Like I'm protective of May because I feel for her, but I'm also at this point going like, ugh, well, girl, I don't know.
Yeah, what did you want? Also, I thought it was funny. He's like, because you can kind of see them through the window. The front door is cracked because he's smoking through it. And you see his friend that he's talking to is doing like crunches in the living room while they're talking, which I just thought was so random.
It was really funny.
Yeah. So he's saying things like, yeah, she's pretty, but I don't think she's playing with a full deck. So you knew.
He knew. Of course he knew.
You knew
that. Of course
that.
he fucking knew.
There's
he knew the
no-
whole time.
There's no way he just found that out when she bit him.
No way, dude. No way.
There's a woman in there too who's just like, what's going on? And she's like touching his hands, grabbing the cigarette. You know, those are May's things in her mind.
Yeah.
And then they do mention May's name. And the girl's like, who's May? And he's like, or the friend is like, some chick Adam just dumped. So now it's like official in May's mind.
Right. And like the thing is, again, they were never together. That was not her boyfriend. But on some level, Adam has to know that she's taking everything he does and magnifying it, like blowing it way out of proportion.
Yeah, I could totally see why she thought they were a thing. And I also see why he was like, nah, it was just casual. But he was absolutely stringing her along.
Yeah.
Just everyone, no one was really right in this scenario.
No, I mean, no, absolutely not.
Especially as we go on.
Yeah.
So May goes home. She starts cutting the hands off of her Ken dolls. She's very hurt.
Yeah.
Polly is leaving a message on her answering machine. She's just checking up on her little puss is what she calls her.
She's talking about her cat, right? Her little puss Loopy?
Oh my gosh, probably. Oh my gosh, yes. I totally thought she was calling May her little puss.
No, I think she's talking about Loopy.
That makes so much more sense.
And she invites May over, doesn't she?
Yeah, May goes over to her house to hang out with Polly. She's at Polly's house still playing with this pack of cigarettes that Adam gave her. Polly ends up kissing May. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I've wanted to do this since I first saw you. She starts unbuttoning May's shirt. May is kind of just letting her do it, but she doesn't seem like she's into it at first.
Yeah, it made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, because it does feel like Polly is just taking advantage of someone and not paying attention to the cues, showing that May is just kind of like freezing almost, right?
Yeah, freezing, yeah.
Which you got to pay attention to, okay?
Yeah.
So Polly says, do you feel weird doing this? And May's like, I am weird. And Polly says, I like weird. Everyone in this fucking movie says they like weird, but they don't understand how weird May is. They like weird. They want weird until they actually get someone who's weird.
True.
In a scary way. Mm-hmm. That's important to note too. And as soon as she says, I like weird, May lights up and she completely changes.
And doesn't May say, are you serious? And
Are you serious? Yeah.
Dead serious.
Yeah. And then May's like, about me? Yeah. Dead. So now May is into it. Now they start kissing and May is actually reciprocating. So
and that kitten song is playing again.
Yes.
Yep.
And he calls me kitten. Like, it's just so funny to me. I don't know why. I like it, but I also read all the lyrics and I was like, what are they saying here? I don't really know. So anyway, obviously I cannot say this for sure, but because this is a fictional movie, these aren't real people, I feel like it's kind of fun to speculate. I feel like May does not even know her own sexuality.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that she just wants literally anyone to love her.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Which makes me sad for her.
Yeah.
And I think it also just stems from what we saw with her mother in the beginning.
Oh my God. It's so, yeah, absolutely. She's so lonely.
Yeah.
She's never had a friend, dude.
Yeah. So anyone that's going to give her attention or the time of day or...
And I don't think she even knows what's inappropriate.
Right.
And she doesn't know how to say no or how to advocate for herself. She doesn't know any of that shit, man.
Yeah. And it definitely seems like she's letting people kind of do what they want with her because that's going to get her the love that she wants.
Absolutely.
Which how often do people do that in real life?
Yeah, dude.
That associate like sex with love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So Polly starts kissing her, kissing her body. And we kind of just see like, we don't see what Polly's doing. We just see her hands kind of by May's face. And May notices that Polly has a giant mole on one of her fingers.
I know. And May is like so disgusted by it.
She is definitely distracted. She can't stop looking at this thing. I was like, really, girl?
Whoa.
You got a lot going on and you have the nerve to judge someone for their mole on their finger. And that's all we really see that happens there. So we don't know what else happened. A different day, we see May goes to that school for the blind kid. She wants to volunteer.
The goth chick at the front desk?
That was my next line, the receptionist.
Oh my God. I'm not going to repeat her line.
No, please don't. The worst receptionist in history should not even be allowed to do that job with how she speaks about these kids.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It's like really, really bad.
Yeah. And it's so random too.
I know. I was like, whoa. I was
like, where did that come from?
Very early 2000s.
Yeah. So May befriends one of the quote unquote difficult kids there who doesn't really like hanging out with anyone else. Petey, I didn't get her name.
Oh, Petey's so cute. Petey's kind of like, I was about to call her a bitch, but she's a child. But she's kind of like moody, doesn't really want to talk to anyone. But May goes over to talk to her and Petey's like sculpting something. And she's like willing to like sculpt her a little cigarette tray.
A little ashtray,
did I call it a cigarette tray?
A little ashtray. I mean, it is a cigarette tray. It could also hold your cigarettes. But yeah, she's actually nice to May.
It was a really cute interaction.
But still kind of like, you could tell Petey's like, take no shit.
Oh yeah, I like Petey.
Yeah, I would say she's like 12, maybe even a little younger.
Yeah.
She starts making or carving May's name into the ashtray.
Yeah, and May looks very pleased.
Yeah. Now we cut to May at the laundromat again. She's smoking, or at least has a cigarette. She has her ashtray with her. Adam walks in, but he goes down a different aisle. I will give him credit here because he does break the silence. It's really awkward. And then he's like, how you doing, May? Which I'm like, okay, he's trying to be nice once again. Even though he's not really nice after that, but maybe he just changed his mind. She says, great, making new friends left and right. She tries to keep up the small talk, asking like, so how's it going with you? Whatever. And then Adam is like, this dang machine is broken. I guess I'm going to have to go to whatever different laundromat. See you around, May.
Yeah.
May immediately goes to check that machine. It's not broken.
But she also asks him to like hang out sometime again.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I don't know.
And that's when he like bails.
Oh, that makes sense why he got uncomfortable and left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he does. Yeah. He breaks the silence, but then he's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And May goes to check that machine. It's not broken. Also, there were like a dozen more of the same machine all around.
Yeah.
But now it's like confirmation of her rejection.
For sure.
So she's upset. She goes to see Polly.
I also think like he thinks like she's stupid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even think he looks at her like I was going to say on his level, but I don't know.
Based on him saying he doesn't think she's playing with a full deck. Like he knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that he has the upper hand. So yes, May is already feeling rejected by Adam. She goes to see Polly. Polly has a friend over, quote unquote. An opportunity she couldn't pass up is what she tells May. We only see this girl's long legs in the background, just like kicking, just like in a very awkward way. Polly is like, May, do you want to join us? Like Polly's very casual about it. Like, yeah, what's the big deal?
Right.
May is clearly upset. Polly is like, May, I gotta hit this. She literally says that verbatim. May is upset. Polly's like, oh my gosh, you're jealous. The other girl calls out to Polly in the background. She's like, come on, Polly, or whatever. And Polly's like, shut up, hooker. Just another Cindy line, a very Cindy line. So now May got rejected by Adam. She feels betrayed by Polly, which is another form of rejection to her. Now she's at home cutting up all of her dolls.
Yeah, she's like trashing her house, man.
Yeah, she's on the floor crying. She's smoking Adam's cigarettes.
And she wants to hang out with the cat. And this is when May became dead to me. I was like, I hope you rot.
Yeah, this is where I became
May.
Officially team fuck May.
Yeah.
Because not only is she rejected by these two people, she cannot even get the cat to let her pet him. She calls out to Loopy, who like most cats is like, fuck off, and walks away. She whips her homemade ashtray at the cat and kills it.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And when I saw that, I was like, shit. Every time I see that I forgot an animal dies in a movie, I'm like, shit, thinking about you.
That was me. I went, oh, we're out. Done.
And we're out.
Yep.
Poor Loopy. I was like, Dolly, close your eyes. So May is depending on all of these people and animals to show her love and make her feel validated. And when they don't, she's lashing out. Grow up, May. Also, I feel like May's kind of an incel.
Well, and I mean, listen, she clearly is having a psychotic break.
Yeah, she is.
Right? Like, and it's, the thing is, like, yeah, at this point, I was just really mad because obviously I love animals more than I love people. But she has been failed. Like, people in her life have failed her at every turn. Her parents failed her. Mm-hmm. I would imagine the school system failed her. Her friend at work failed her. Mm-hmm. This guy, like, she doesn't have any support from anyone. And it's like she's just spiraling down this very tragic hole.
Yep.
And has no one to help her. And it's just, and I would imagine she might have like schizophrenia or something like that. The way that she talks to Susie, I didn't know if Susie's talking back to her.
It seems like it. She gave her advice on kissing.
And at the end of the movie, when all this shit goes down, I was like, okay, she clearly is like, has schizophrenia or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have a lot of compassion and empathy for her.
Sure.
While also being like, you just killed an animal and
yeah,
I don't know.
And we don't condone your choices, May.
Yeah. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I do, I feel so sad for her because like everyone has failed her.
Yeah, both things can exist at the same time.
Yeah.
You can feel sad for this person and also be like, yeah, but you're a piece of shit. You can also feel sad for the child version of her and how she was so failed, like you said.
Yeah.
But also realize like you made choices as an adult.
Like, I just want her to get into therapy so badly and have like a real person in her life that is looking out for her best interest and doesn't want anything from her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She definitely doesn't seem to have that.
Bums me out, man.
So next they show May standing in the shower. She's trying to call Adam.
The dead cat is right next to her. That's what I'm saying. It's like she's...
Oh, it's like by her side for almost the rest of the time.
It's so disturbing.
Yeah. In the tub with her. There's no water in the tub. She's just standing in the tub. The cat is in there. Adam actually answers the phone, but he doesn't realize it's May at first. Mm-hmm. May keeps hearing glass cracking.
Like, you know,
Susie's...
this is... Sorry.
No,
you know,
this
this is the early 2000s because he answers the phone. Like,
yeah.
No one ever answers the fucking phone.
She has a house phone.
Right. But like, if anyone calls me, no, I'm not answering it.
Even people I do know.
I never answer it.
I'm like, please text me.
Just give me a heads up. Don't just cold call me.
No, because I always think now a call is now associated with something bad.
Yeah. It's like an emergency or something.
Yeah.
No, for real. That's why if I have to say something important to you, I voice memo you.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, hey, can I call you? Like if I have to call someone. Or I'll tell them why.
Dude, when one of my girlfriends is like, can I call you? I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I'll be like, I got tea. Or, do you want to, it'll be easier to talk if, I'm going to tell you why.
Agreed.
Just like you don't show up at someone's house unannounced. You don't call someone unannounced.
No, although I won't lie. Like if my bestie like showed up at my house, like,
that's different.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
anyway.
Of course. You're like, please do it.
But Penelope, can you fly across the country to my house, please?
Surprise her. Okay.
Rosemary, I miss you.
So Adam answers the phone. May is hearing glass breaking, and it's like Susie's case that's cracking and cracking. And I think this is symbolic of her having the mental break.
Yes,
she keeps hearing this cracking and she's yelling, quiet. Mm-hmm. Adam's like, who are you talking to? Which is also funny that he hears her do that and like doesn't just hang up. But she's about to snap. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it's representing. Mm-hmm. Adam is just like kind of, yeah, sure, whatever. Like what, May wants to meet up again and he's not really having it. Mm-mm. So I don't remember exactly how that conversation ends, but I know May is facing Susie and she's like, I hate you, Susie. She's blaming Susie for all of this. But then we cut to the classroom where she's volunteering with these kids, the blind children. May brought Susie in. She brought her chipped ass glass box with Susie in it and is letting the children feel this chipped glass.
Dude, I didn't know I didn't understand what her intentions were in this entire scene. Like, I don't get it. Like, is she just trying to get rid of Susie? Like, I didn't know what was happening.
I was really wondering, this felt like a misplaced point.
Yeah, because the scene itself is like, I think it's one of the craziest parts of this whole movie.
Yeah.
It might be one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
It is really wild. You're like, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting this. I have a theory on what
Okay.
they were trying to do here. I don't know if this is what it was, but so what happens is, and then we can go through what we think it means. May brings in Susie for like a little show and tell. She tells them that, you know, you can go ahead and feel it because that's how they can tell what it is, even though it's in the box. She says, this is my best friend. And it just took me now to realize it, even though she just said, I hate you, Susie, in the scene right before.
Right.
So now she's realizing this is her only friend. So there's that point they're trying to get across.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids are like, oh, it's a box. Her friend must be inside. Let's take it out. This was so wild to me. All the kids start grabbing this box and May is like fighting them over it. She's like, no, she doesn't want Susie to come out.
Mm-hmm.
The box falls, breaks, shatters. The kids are like, she's out. Hit the floor or something like that. Like the floor. All the kids drop to the floor and start feeling around to find this friend.
But it's like all shattered glass.
They're crawling around this broken glass. Now all of a sudden it's blood, kids screaming.
It's one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
It's wild. May is like crying, trying to grab Susie. It's like a little tug of war.
Like it's like kind of slow motion. Like the teacher is like, like everyone's like trying to get the kids out of there.
Yeah.
It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen.
It is really disturbing. And I also was like, these kids are maybe like preteens. They might be younger than that, but I'm like, wouldn't they know what broken glass sounds like and not to go to the floor?
The whole thing was very strange, and I don't understand why she brought the doll. And I just don't know the purpose of all of that.
I think bringing the doll was just a little show and tell for kids. I think that could be easily explained as that. Of like, oh, I want to bring in my friend. Also, it's her best friend. She's probably looking at it as a real person.
Okay.
So there's already that element to it. The one thing happens in this scene is it looks like May gets glass in her eyes. She starts rubbing her eyes.
Yes.
And then later after this scene, we see her like drastically scratching at her eyes, almost like about to claw them out. And she's very irritated. Her eyes are very irritated. So I was like, did they get glass in her eye? Did they just do that to get glass in her eye? So she has to take her contacts out. So she has the lazy eye again.
Oh, I did not get that she had glass in her eye.
It's only because because I watched it twice almost in a row. In that scene, she starts like rubbing her eyes like this.
I thought she was rubbing her eyes as a stress. Like I thought it was like she's freaking out so bad that she just starts like kind of like mutilating herself.
Well, remember they show her when she doesn't go to work for like 2 days after this.
Yeah, and her eyes are like all nasty, but I thought it's because she was just aggressively because she hates having the lazy eye. That's what I thought was happening.
Maybe.
But you could be right. I don't know, maybe I read it wrong.
And maybe she didn't get glass in her eye, but only because she did that in the scene. Then like in the glass scene, then she does it after when she gets home, like her eyes are irritated and she's kind of like, she's doing it a little bit. Then she increasingly like manically is scratching at her eyes. Yeah. Then her eyes are like bloodshot, like crazy looking. I don't know. For some reason, I just thought like, yeah, if you get something in your eye, you have to take contacts out, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You might be right.
I'm not sure because I was also wondering, why did they show her eyes being bloodshot? I thought she was going to stab her eye out from the beginning of the movie. I thought that was going to happen here because she got glass in her eye. I'm like, oh, this is why she's going to rip her eye out. But it wasn't.
Yeah, the whole scene, like, I mean, listen, I like that the scene's in the movie because it is absolutely insane.
It's bizarre.
I just couldn't figure out, there were just things about it where I was like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So she doesn't go to work for 2 days, as we mentioned. She has like, they show her on the couch. She has a dead cat on her lap. Oh, she has like a bloody doll covering her eyes.
It's like a pretty fucking, the visual is, the doll over her eyes though was like, it was like when someone puts like an ice pack on their forehead.
Exactly. And it looked like, I think it might've been like a beheaded doll or something. So it's just like doll parts on her eyes. Polly is leaving a message on her answering machine saying, hey, you missed 2 days of work. You know, the doctor needs you to come in here. You need to get your cute butt in here. This is what she says. This is where we see her eyes are all fucked up. She's like bleeding. Like even when she stands up, she's still bleeding down her legs even. So it's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
She's still petting Loopy and like telling her like, I'm going to miss petting your fur. Starts spraying the cat with Lysol.
Oh, you know what I forgot to say is when she goes home after this whole thing happened and walks into the elevator covered in blood, the makeout people are in the elevator.
That's when they come back. Yes.
Yeah.
And they are looking at her completely differently.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I am interested about that because I think I forgot to write that down. I was thinking they saw her when she like gets all of her confidence, but that's not when. It's when she's bloody.
Yeah, I still don't.
I think you're like, I think it just had to do with her metamorphosis.
Yeah, for sure.
They
yeah.
saw her when she was timid. They're like, what the fuck are you doing in here? And kept making out. And now they see her and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, right.
She's about to have a flip. And she is.
Yeah.
So she meets this, I would guess, like, you can describe him as like this alt boy.
Okay, can I just say something about him?
Yes, please.
He is in one of my favorite movies of all
He
time.
looks familiar to me, so tell me.
He's in SLC Punk. He's one of the mod guys in SLC Punk.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
And he is a little punk in this one too.
I know. I SLC Punk is like up there as one of my favorite movies of all time. So when I saw him, I went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you have this information. Is his name in this movie blank? Because that's what I found it as, but I was like, are they just saying they don't have the name, or was his name actually blank? Because also I feel like a little punk kid would be named Blank, so it makes sense.
Yep. His name is Blank.
Blank. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I what I've been doing lately is I try to pull up the cast on Google when I'm watching, because I hate going through my notes like Mohawk guy. And then I have to go back and change it.
Dude, I know, same.
But he does have a mohawk.
He does, yeah.
So she meets him
Oh my God,
the...
if I met this guy in high school, I would have been like, yeah, you have a mohawk? That's all it took, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, a mohawk?
You have matching mohawks with him?
I know, right? It'd be rad.
Well, you had like the Liberty Spikes, right?
I had Liberty Spikes, yeah.
Sorry, they're a little different. Also, when I said he is a little punk, I felt so, I don't know, like poser. He's a little punk. Anyway, meets him on the bench that she's been sitting on throughout this movie.
Oh,
And
he's such a fucking turd.
he has a little turd.
Oh,
He
I
wants to
can't. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But when she's like, he asks her, he's like, "Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
You look kind of sad. Are
He
you okay?"
really does talk like that too.
No, he does. He really does.
Yeah. I mean, he sounded nice there.
Yeah, he's like friendly, but it's
Everyone in this movie, they sound friendly, and then they're fucking weird in like a predatory way.
oh, gross, so gross. Anyway, keep
I
going.
want to stop calling them weird, because I like weird. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, there are levels to being weird. I just want to point that out, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
He wants to go get jujubes with her. Do you know what jujubes are? Because I know the candy name, but it's just,
Jujubes?
I think he says jujubes. Is it jujubes?
I thought they were jujubes, but jujubes are in Canada, so I don't know.
Oh, I wonder if it's a different thing. He definitely says jujubes.
I just thought they were just jujubes.
Please let us know. I want to know what you call them. Do you know what they are? Is it like a
It's a candy.
Is it like a gummy bear consistency, or is it like the dots consistency?
Jujubes are like soft.
Are they like okay? I'm like, describe
like,
it. Are
you
they
really
sticky? I don't think I've ever had them.
Jujubes?
I don't think I've ever had them.
I think jujubes are a little bigger than what he's eating though, so I'm not sure.
Do you know Mike and Ike's?
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Jujubes are not like Mike and Ike's.
Okay, good, because I hate Mike and Ike's. I'm sorry.
I'm not a Mike and Ike's fan at all.
That's what I was picturing, and I was like, ew. And
but
now
also, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, now I really want to find them and try them, because I don't know what they are.
Yeah, we'll Google them afterwards. But he's like, he is trying to be friendly with her, and she kind of is just like, she doesn't want to talk to him, and she says something. He's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Does it matter?" And he's like, "Shit, I was just trying to be friendly."
Yeah.
Like he is like, he comes across as very innocent.
Yeah, at first.
Towards her, and anyways, he does. He asks her if they can eat candy.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
Sure. Brings him to her apartment.
Yes, he goes to her house, and oh god,
I wrote, he's a weirdo, and not because of his looks.
no,
Just so you know.
no. She's like, okay. He goes, "It's getting really hot in here. You mind if I take my shirt off?" And he does, and she's like, "Oh, I like your tattoo," and it's a Frankenstein. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm still burning up. Can you mind if I grab some ice and rub them on my nipples?"
That's when I was like, oh, okay.
The second he said it was hot and he's taking his shirt off, I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
well, no. Honestly, him just going to her house, I was like, oh god,
yeah, right away.
This guy's a creep." But do you mind if I just rub some shit on my nipples?
Like, excuse me.
And he opens her freezer, and he discovers the dead cat.
Loopy, the dead cat, is in the freezer.
And he immediately is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and she's like, so are we best friends now since you know my secrets, or something like that?
He straight up calls her a freak.
Yeah, he's like, you're a fucking freak. I'm not going to be your friend. Which...
Okay, I get it.
But I feel like here, yes, absolutely. But also I feel like here is where you should like do a little fawning on purpose, play dumb to get out alive.
Does he look like a smart person?
You're right.
I mean, even when he was eating the candy, I was like, "Oh, you're just a turd."
Well, the way he's like this, like, hey, and also, can I rub ice cubes on my nipples? What?
No, you can't take your shirt off. I just met you. What are
Also,
you talking about?
It like hurts me. I don't know why it
Ew.
hurts me. It
No,
just,
I
like,
know.
I know. I'm just like,
And he just does it so casually. And he's like, yeah. Because again, I think he saw that she was vulnerable.
Yeah.
He's another predator. He sees that she's vulnerable. And yeah, it's
yeah.
like,
Hey,
I
are you
hate.
sad? Can I come over your house and rub ice cubes on my nipples
That's
then?
what I'm saying. I hate all these people. So I was so glad that she just grabs a pair of scissors, man, and she shoves that shit right into his head.
Yeah, her pair of giant sewing
Like
scissors.
shears, like big ass shears.
Yeah, and if you know a pair of sewing shears, they're heavy.
And they're so sharp.
I think I have a pair right behind you, actually. I should have
Damn.
brought them here to show you. But he puts his hands up in defense, and she stabs through his hands and like pins his hands to his head, which I thought was really creative.
Wild, dude.
And then she's like, they don't show what she's doing yet, but obviously he's dead. And she's like, I need more parts. And this is kind of where we kick into full 180 on May and her personality.
Oh yeah, third act is getting crazy.
Yeah, so now she's sitting by a tree. She's smoking one of those cigarettes. This pack of cigarettes is lasting her forever. Maybe she has her own pack by now. I don't know. Her hand is so stiff. I've never been a smoker, but her hand is like
you can tell, like
flexed.
she doesn't smoke.
Yes, her
Yeah.
entire palm, all of her fingers are flexed out with the cigarette in her hand. Like she's like, I don't know. I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
She looks very awkward still.
Awkward, yeah.
Adam now approaches her. Like, why are you bothering her now? Why are you?
Because now she's not really fawning after him now.
She's ignoring him.
Yeah. So of course he's like, oh no, I don't like this now. I want you to be into me.
Yeah. So he approaches her. What are you reading? And she's reading a book on amputation. And he's like, oh, is that for work? And she's like, just for fun.
Yeah.
Which definitely plays into the story. He apologizes for everything. So I guess that's his motive. He wanted to come up and say, hey, I'm sorry for everything.
And I did appreciate that he apologized to her.
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
And he's like, it just didn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right.
I'm sure he realized that what he was doing was wrong.
It seems like it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And so she's like, it's okay. I understand now. And she's like touching her temple. Like, I understand now, which indicates to me something is going on.
Yeah.
The way she like emphasized that. And then he's like, okay, friends. And he puts his hand out to shake her hand. And she takes it in a very creepy way and starts like kissing on his hand. So of course he's like, all right, I gotta go. He pulls his hand away, walks away. She's like, later, hands.
Yeah. I can't stand her at this point.
I know. And now we hate her.
Like, I know, I get it. Like, everything that she does, like, all these people have it coming and blah, blah, blah. But
she's still a piece of shit.
I just find her tiring.
May, you're just exhausting. Like, get a new hobby. Also, though it is frustrating when you see someone that is clearly just so focused on getting validation from external resources from other people. You're like, girl, like,
It's just like, it's so sad. And I'm just so mad at every single person in this movie.
yeah. So next at work, we see May measuring Polly's neck. And Polly's like, how's Loopy? She does get depressed. And she's telling her how Loopy doesn't seem happy.
Yeah.
Maybe because she's dead.
And that girl from earlier that was at Polly's apartment is back. Her name's Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
And May remarks that she has nice gams.
Can I just say, because she even says later, like, gams, stems, wheels. I fucking hate when people refer to legs as really any other metaphor, any other name. Gams and stems grosses me out.
Do you think it's because you think of like a nasty ass man?
I think of an older, creepy,
like an old dude,
salacious man. Yeah, being like,
oh, I like those gams.
Nice stems. I do think of it. I think of him in an alleyway
with a cigarette,
being really greasy, 1 foot up on the wall.
Ew.
Like just like okay,
wait a second.
catcalling.
Why are we in Dick Tracy? Like, what just fucking happened?
Wearing a fedora. He's like, yes.
Like, we just got teleported back into the like 1940s.
He's catcalling. I do picture it being a catcalling thing. Nice stems. I don't know. I think it also, because it's taking the humanity away from your legs.
Yeah, fair.
And making them an object.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why with the legs and not other body parts. It's with the legs, particularly gams and stems, I think is so gross.
It's gross. You're right.
I don't like it.
It's nasty.
Anywho, yes, Polly introduces May to Ambrosia. May tells Polly that she's making her a blouse. That's why she's measuring her. She wants to make her a blouse. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. So Ambrosia right away does not like May.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
She
sure.
at least seems to have a good instinct or radar on people.
Yeah.
May continues measuring. Polly, she's asking about the mole on her finger. She's like, oh, you ever thought about getting that removed? Which is fucking rude.
Oh, it's so rude.
She's like, my grandma says our imperfections make us special. What do you think? Polly asks May that.
Yeah.
And May just walks away.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And there's like some discussion about like Halloween costumes.
Yeah, it's Halloween. It's about to be.
And when May leaves, she does mimic Polly. And she's like, call me kisses, Kay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When May calls Polly to go hang out on Halloween, that's where you see the complete change in her voice.
Yep, exactly.
She's like, hey, want to come hang out? Like, she's almost, like you said, mimicking her
She's
cadence.
mimicking her. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's scary. May also goes and buys a cooler on wheels, we see. She goes to a hardware store to get that. May tells Polly she wants to show her costume. That's why she goes over there. So in the elevator, as she's leaving, she's exiting the elevator, she says the same thing her mother said in the beginning of the movie. If you can't find a friend, make one. She goes over to Polly's. They're just chilling in the living room. Polly's like sitting on the floor. May's on the couch.
Dude, this scene was so
Bleak?
disturbing.
Yeah, it's bleak.
Like, it's so slow what she does and how she does it.
And
It's
casual.
Dude. Great
Yeah.
scene, man. So yeah, Ambrosia's drinking milk from the carton, which I think is really gross. And she's super rude to May.
Oh my gosh. She yells to Polly, who she thinks is in the bathroom. She's like, hurry up, Polly. I have to piss like a racehorse or something like that.
Yeah. Which I think also like speaks to their relationship. Like, yeah, I would say they're pretty close.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the reason I noted that is because May kind of giggles at this. And I don't know why I thought this was so fucking funny that Ambrosia's like,
Oh yeah, because Ambrosia does not like her at all, dude.
She knows right away that something is off about May,
Yep.
but the way she mocked her, that shit did make me laugh.
Yeah, and she even asks her like what she's doing there.
Yeah.
And May tells her that she has really beautiful legs.
She's like, I thought they were gams.
Yeah.
That's where she's like, gam stems, wheels, whatever.
Yeah, and
Gross.
she also tells May that she doesn't see what Polly sees in her.
Yeah, and May wants her to do a little spin. She's like, you know what? I like your costume. Do a little spin for me or whatever. And she's like, you're so fucking weird, but she does it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, how was that? And May's like, beautiful. Stabs her in the temples with both scalpels.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I said scalpels. So now we see May walking down the street with a bloody cooler full of body parts.
Yep. And then a girl walks by and is like, hey, man, you got a great costume.
Yeah.
Did you get it at, what did she say?
I don't even know what she said, but I was confused because I didn't know what her costume was.
She goes like this. She goes, hey, girl, great costume. You got any cold ones in there?
Oh, yeah. I wrote, good thing it's Halloween.
And May goes, yes, I do.
Do you know what her costume was supposed to be? Do you think, was she supposed to be Susie?
No idea.
There was a moment where I thought she was supposed to be Susie, but when she's like, great costume, I'm like, what is her costume?
She doesn't look like she's wearing a costume to me.
No, I mean, we know she looks different than before, but.
Sure.
So she shows up to Adam's house. She cannot get enough. Adam answers and
He's like dressed like Caesar.
yeah, he is like in a toga.
And he's with another girl,
Yeah, her name is Hoop.
and she's dressed as a cat. Right? She's a cat?
Yeah. And she's like, Adam's busy. And May immediately is like, I like your earrings. And you could tell it kind of makes her defenses go down. She's like, oh, well, I like your costume.
Yeah. I like, honestly, like I thought felt really real to me.
Yeah. Because
You know?
how often does that happen? Like this girl is threatened by May, then May compliments her. So because she's flattered, she feels less threatened.
Yeah. Cause then you're like, oh, maybe you are a girl's girl. Like maybe
Yeah.
you're not, you know what I mean? I
Maybe
don't
you're
know.
not going to kill me.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, she is.
Yeah.
So Adam's like, what do you want, May? And then Hoop is like, oh, this is May? So obviously she has heard the lore. And she's like, oh, do you want to come in for a drink or something? Like she's kind of fucking with her now. Like, oh, I want to hear this.
Yeah. That was pretty shitty for
That's
sure.
shitty. She's not a girl's girl for real.
No.
So whatever. They're in the living room. May's like, touch me, Adam. Touch my face.
Yeah. And she's like staring at his hands.
Yeah. And Hoop's like, yeah, Adam, touch my face. And she sits on his lap. And then she starts grabbing Adam's hands. She's like taunting May in front of her. It's just a weird power move. Like it's a very early 20s, even teenager thing to do.
For sure. And it also makes me think that that whatever version that Adam has like relayed to people about May is not the whole truth.
Yeah.
Or these people are just absolute pieces of shit. But like if I was dating a dude and he was like, well, before you, I was like seeing this girl and it was very obvious that she was very socially awkward and shit, I would be like, oh, that's, you know, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way I'd be like, yeah, let's fuck with her. Like that's.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like, did Adam even tell this girl the truth about May?
I think it's also on that girl Hoop because there's no way I'd be like, oh, come in and have a drink. Yeah.
Okay. That obvious. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. But I'm just like, every single person in this movie is so terrible.
Yeah. Who knows what he actually told her?
Yeah. I don't know. Like
For sure.
it feels like everyone in this movie.
Also, if she's dating Adam, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
true.
she's oblivious to something.
And then he's shitty to her. He like
Oh my
pushes her
gosh.
off his lap.
Yeah, so she at this point she's sitting on his lap. She's like, "These hands are mine," rubbing her face with his hands. May is like, "They're mine, Quackle-Doo," which I had to look it up. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" It's either Quackle-Doo or Quackadoo. And Hoop's like, "What is that, Russian or something?" I think it's just a cartoon duck. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was interesting. I wanted to look it up.
Yeah.
But Adam's like, he shoves her off. Yeah, shoves Hoop off of him. She falls on the ground. And then Adam's like, I wish you would just leave. He's saying it to May, but Hoop is like, fine, I'll leave. And he's like, not you, dumb shit.
I know.
Excuse the fuck out of me. The way I would have been out, like way before that, but especially
I would
here.
have dumped an entire drink on this guy's head.
There, and she's like, oh, dumb shit. I guess that's me. Like, what an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So May's like, you're not going to touch my face. And he's like, fine, I'll touch your face. And he goes to like put a finger on her nose, like in a, you know, like a poking her in the face thing. She grabs his arm and with the other hand stabs Hoop in the neck with a scalpel.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's-
assuming this is all with a scalpel.
Very wild.
Adam obviously freaks out. And then we cut right to May back at home, opening her cooler, taking out a pair of hands, saying, you're going to look perfect. And now in this next scene, we see flashbacks. May stabbed Adam in the stomach and hacked off his hands, basically. Which you didn't even need to kill him to take his hands, but also there's the whole witness thing. So that's probably why she wanted to do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So now we see like this little montage. May is washing a severed leg in the tub, which would be Ambrosia's,
Yep.
right? Fabric and body parts. It's a little montage.
She's got like a bone saw. She's got all these like,
Yeah.
she's like, she has like a sewing tools. Like she's got all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
There's like doll parts. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
And so when her little DIY project is complete, we have, I wrote it all down. We have Polly's neck and possibly torso, I think, logistically. Ambrosia's legs, Blank's arms, that's the Mohawk guy, Hoop's ear, complete with earring, Adam's hands, of course, a DIY bodysuit that she sewed together, and a mask that's like sewn onto the neck, like probably stuffed with stuffing.
Yeah, the mask is really creepy.
It makes it so much more creepier because I was like, she could have took any of their heads, but I guess she wasn't obsessed with any of their faces. So the stuffing head, Susie's broken eyes placed on top of the mask, like
Yeah.
eyes, Adam's cigarettes in the front pocket, and the pieces of that broken ashtray that spelled May, she rearranged it on the forehead to spell Amy.
Amy, yeah.
So this is her new friend, Amy. May is ecstatic.
She's very impressed with the finished product for sure.
Oh, yeah. May's like, words can't describe, but I guess I don't have to talk to you. I'll just feel it and you'll feel it too. And she places her hand on his chest and then she starts panicking.
Yeah, she gets really stressed out.
Yeah. She's like, you can't see me. You can't see me. I'm like, who is this, John Cena? Or I guess May would be John Cena. Imagine she's like this in front of the thing, in front of the creature. I don't even know what else to call it. So now she's sitting at her vanity. She's sobbing.
I mean, I was like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah, we're like, okay, remember that first scene, the opening scene.
Yeah.
Sobbing at her vanity, looking at her eye, which now she doesn't have the contacts in, so her lazy eye is back. And then, I mean, there's a lot of build up to this, but eventually she does stab herself in the eye. Same as the opening scene. Oh my gosh, I feel like this scene took so long, especially when I watched it back again right before we did this episode. I was like skipping 30 seconds at a time and it still wasn't done.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah,
it's
she's
just heartbreaking. She's sobbing. She's like, it's so heartbreaking.
She's
and
obviously in a lot of pain.
she sticks the eyeball like on
Right in the mask.
right in the mask. And then the eyeball rolls off the doll.
Oh, yeah. She cries. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. She's like, yeah, she's screaming and crying. The fucking eyeball rolls off the doll's head. And then the doll's arm comes up and reaches for May's face. And it slowly starts just caressing her cheek.
Yeah.
And May closes her eyes and smiles.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
All she wanted was for that creature to be able to see her, which all she's wanted this whole movie is for someone to see her.
To see her.
She thinks with her eye added, it's going to be able to see her. But yeah, from her POV, we do see that arm eventually lift up. And it's kind of like a, it's not a natural movement.
No, yeah.
But like you said, kind of caressing her cheek. When I first saw this movie, it probably was around the time that it came out. I remember that like blew my mind, but it also was early 2000s. And I was a lot younger then.
Right.
But at that time, I'm like, what the fuck? And now watching it back, we're obviously seeing her hallucination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What I wonder is, are we seeing her hallucination as she's dying? Or do you think it's just we're seeing what she's been seeing this whole time?
I think we're just seeing what she's been seeing. I think she's been in psychosis for a very, very long time.
Okay. I can see that. Either way, she is not well.
And then the end of the credits, the song in the credits, I just wrote the line down. He loves all our children. It's like weird, like Jesus music.
I will say I really like the soundtrack of this movie.
No, it's
a
great.
lot of the songs I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to go see if they have a soundtrack somewhere because I like it.
No, for real.
So early 2000s. And that is May.
That's it, man.
I'm so glad that you liked it, especially when I saw the cat get killed. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if she's going to like this movie.
No, I really liked it. I just found myself getting so emotionally like revved up because I was so sad for her while also being like infuriated with like every single person in this movie, how they treat her and what it drives her to do and the things that she does. Like, it's so hard to not be frustrated with that, but it's also so understandable. It's like no one's helping her. She needs to be on medication. She needs to be in therapy.
Yeah.
Her own parents failed her. It's just horrible. But I really liked it. And I do like that she killed everybody and like made a doll. I thought that was cool. I was like, hell yeah. I mean, all these people deserved it, but don't actually do that.
Yeah, don't do that. We're not condoning it.
But I liked it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Do you want to hear some like little tidbits?
Yes.
Okay, so the teenage girl who asks May, got any cold ones in there, is dressed up like a zombie cheerleader in the exact same costume and makeup from Lucky McKee's, who's the writer-director. His first movie, All Cheerleaders Die.
Oh.
I thought that was very cool.
That is.
Originally, May didn't do very well in the box office, but obviously now it is a cult film. We know that. Originally, the film opened with a lengthy introduction to May as a child.
Oh.
But when the film appeared to be taking too long to get to its point, most of those scenes were cut.
Okay, so that's like the little montage we see in the opening. We just see a clips of it.
Right.
Okay.
The opening with the adult May, specifically the first scene with her and her doll, were shot quickly and only to make the point that May was lonely, and they wanted to make that point as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And it does. That she's still friends with Susie, and that seems to be like she's talking to the doll. Yeah, she's her only friend.
Exactly. There are several references to Italian horror in this movie. Obviously, the first one, Argento, when Adam's going to see Trauma. There's also an image from Opera hanging on the wall in Adam's room, and there's a portrait of Argento also hanging on his wall in the room. Okay. Which I thought was very cool. Yeah. I love Argento movies. Big fan.
Name 5. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. The scene where Blank and May meet was a reshoot. In the original scene, May was not cold and vague. She was angry, and she was also insulted by the people that walked by on the street. The scene ended with the two of them in the park. Okay. So that scene is still in the film, but entirely replaced and re-edited. It is now the scene where Adam and May meet and have their final talk in the park. Okay. The scene is told only through close-ups, with both May and Adam glancing off camera. They were originally looking at Blank, who was sitting beside her, but he was edited out of the scene completely. Whoa. I know. That was pretty crazy. When I looked up that one, I was like, whoa, that's nuts.
That's really interesting to imagine.
May's full name is May Dove Candy. It's phonetically sounded out as Candy.
Oh, it's Candy.
Yes.
Oh, it's spelled like Kennedy, right?
Yes, but it's pronounced Candy.
Okay. I did notice the dove part when I was looking up the characters' names. Did they explain why?
No.
Okay, interesting. Because I don't think they say that in the movie.
They do not. No.
Very interesting.
And you were correct. May's costume is of Susie.
Oh, okay.
So good
Perfect.
call. Good call. Yep. And director Lucky McKee has a cameo in the film. He is the man that is making out with the girl in the elevator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
why that scene was put in there.
Right. Bloody Disgusting ranked this number 17 in the top 20 horror movies of the decade.
Oh,
Thought
okay.
that was kind of cool. Yeah. And also, one of the reasons why May, I would imagine, didn't do so good at the box office is it had a very limited release in theaters. It was only in 9 theaters nationwide.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And writer-director Lucky McKee was heavily inspired by Amanda Plummer's character in the film The Fisher King.
I don't think I've seen that.
I haven't either, but I thought that was kind of like an interesting little
Yeah, that is
tidbit.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious to go see what her character is.
Yeah, and that's May.
Wow.
Love it.
Oh my goodness.
What a wild ride. Did you guys love the movie? If you did, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We are going to do our Patreon shout outs right now because we shout out our top tier patrons every episode now. Thank you so much for all of your support. All right, we have Rob V. We have Hey James. That's what I'm going to call you. You already know you have a long name. We have Heather D. We have franchise driller Ryan, right?
Uh-huh.
We have Allie T. We have Josh N. We have Millie C. Also Adrian G. I'm just going to say everyone's initial. Why not?
Do it.
Chris S. I almost said Chris C. That is an S. That is an S, ma'am. Alexis T. We have Adam VL. That's 2 last names, it looks like. And we have James C. Thank you so much for all of your support. We cannot thank you enough, really. So we're going to keep saying it.
We love you. We love your Patreons. We love our listeners. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. If you want, you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving us a 5-star review. It really does help our channel and our podcast grow. We're on social media, Chainsaw Girls Pod, pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can send us an email, chainsawgirlspod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, bye.